Most people think success is about luck or talent, but the truth is far simpler and far more within your control. Success doesn't come from wishing, hoping, or waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from creating systems that work for you consistently, day in and day out. Imagine if every decision, every action, and every habit you had was designed to push you closer to your goals automatically. That's what the 1% do. They don't leave it up to chance. They engineer their lives so that success is inevitable. A system is nothing more than a set of repeated actions that compound over time. It's showing up consistently even when you don't feel like it. It's doing the small things that feel invisible today but are massive 10 years from now. Most people get caught in a cycle of motivation. They wait for the inspiration to strike before taking action, but inspiration is fleeting and motivation is unreliable. Systems remove the need for constant motivation because the action becomes automatic. You don't rely on willpower, you rely on structure. Think about your daily routines. Are they designed to make you better, stronger, smarter, or wealthier? Or are they designed to make life easier and more comfortable in the moment? The 1% make deliberate choices to favor the long term. They prioritize progress over comfort. This is why they read when most are scrolling, invest when most are spending, and practice when most are relaxing. They understand that wishing for success will never replace structured effort. You can wish all you want, but a wish won't pay bills, build skills, or create influence. Systems do. The beauty of systems is that they scale. Once you have a system in place, it doesn't just help you today. It compounds your results over months, years, and decades. For example, if you commit to learning 30 minutes every day, the knowledge you gain may feel small at first, but after a year, it adds up to 182 hours of focused learning. Over 10 years, that's 820 hours of consistent growth, enough to make you an expert in almost anything. A wish could never create that. A single motivational speech could never create that. Only a system can. Another critical aspect is automation. Systems allow you to remove decision fatigue from your life. Every choice you make costs energy and attention. The 1% minimize unnecessary decisions by designing predictable, repeatable routines. They automate their habits, their finances, their health routines, and even their learning. The less you rely on daily decision making, the more energy you have for high-leverage actions that truly move the needle. Finally, systems create resilience. Life is unpredictable. Motivation will falter, circumstances will change, and setbacks will happen. But a system doesn't depend on fleeting emotions. A system keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. It carries you through the hard days, the distractions, the doubts, and the setbacks. While others give up when they feel tired, the 1% keep going because their systems are stronger than their feelings. So stop wishing for success. Stop hoping things will somehow align perfectly. The key isn't luck. It's not talent. It's not a sudden stroke of genius. It's building systems that work for you every day in every area of your life. Start today. Make your actions automatic, your routines intentional, and your progress inevitable. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary, one small, deliberate step at a time. Most people are trapped in a cycle of instant gratification. They want results now, comfort now, and relief now. The problem is, the world doesn't reward short-term comfort, it rewards long-term leverage. The 1% understand this deeply. They don't chase temporary pleasures or easy wins. Instead, they focus on decisions and actions that might feel uncomfortable today, but will pay massive dividends tomorrow, next year, and even decades from now. Leverage is the multiplier of effort. It's what allows one small action today to grow into extraordinary results over time. This could be learning a skill, building a relationship, investing money, or developing a habit. When most people choose comfort over effort, they are essentially choosing a smaller future. They settle for what's easy instead of what's effective. The 1% choose the opposite. They are willing to do the work now, to endure discomfort, to make sacrifices that most aren't willing to make because they see the bigger picture. Consider time, the most finite resource you have. The average person spends hours scrolling through social media or watching TV, seeking momentary relief. These are choices made for comfort today, but have zero leverage tomorrow. Meanwhile, the 1% might spend those same hours reading, learning, or building skills. At the time, it may feel like a small sacrifice, a rejection of immediate pleasure, but over months and years, that time compounds. That knowledge, that skill, that network, they grow exponentially, creating opportunities that would have been impossible without the initial discomfort. Comfort is seductive. It whispers, rest now, worry about later, but the 1% recognize that the world doesn't reward temporary ease. Life rewards action, consistency, and strategic sacrifice. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you are trading a small moment of peace for a potentially massive future reward. And it's not just about work or money. It's about character, discipline, and freedom. Long-term leverage builds resilience, independence, and confidence in ways that short-term comfort never can. Another critical element is patience. Leverage requires a willingness to delay gratification, sometimes for months or even years. The 1% embrace this patience, knowing that the greatest rewards are rarely immediate. They understand that the compound effect is invisible at first. Saving $50 a month or practicing a skill for 30 minutes a day may feel insignificant at first, but over time, these consistent actions multiply into extraordinary results. Meanwhile, short-term comfort is immediate, but it has no compounding power. The mental shift required is simple but powerful. Start thinking in terms of decades, not days. Ask yourself, will this choice make my life better in 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years? If the answer is yes, even if it's uncomfortable now, you take it. If the answer is no, you resist it even if it feels good at the moment. The 1% build lives that work like dominoes, each action knocking over the next, creating unstoppable momentum. Short-term comfort is like stopping the first domino. It keeps everything small and static. Finally, long-term leverage is not just about personal gain. It allows you to create impact, freedom, and security. When you prioritize comfort, you stay small. When you embrace leverage, you grow, influence, and expand what's possible, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. This is the invisible shift that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, choosing discomfort now to create massive opportunity later. So today, reject the urge for easy, immediate comfort. Choose the small, deliberate sacrifices that build leverage. Focus on what compounds, not what satisfies. Over time, this shift in thinking will transform everything: the results you get, the life you live, and the person you become. True success isn't comfortable, it's deliberate, disciplined, and designed to multiply across a lifetime. Most people let their emotions control their choices. They act when they feel motivated, give up when they feel frustrated, and chase whatever feels good in the moment. The problem is, emotions are fleeting. They are unpredictable, unreliable, and often misleading. The 1% understand that real success doesn't come from feelings, it comes from principles. Principles are your guide when emotions fail, when the path gets hard, and when the world tries to pull you off course. Think about it. Every great accomplishment in history wasn't achieved because someone felt like doing it. It was achieved because they had a framework, a set of rules, habits, and principles they followed no matter how they felt. Emotions may motivate, but they can also sabotage. They can make you quit early, procrastinate endlessly, or chase the wrong priorities. Principles, on the other hand, create consistency, clarity, and direction. They allow you to act even when you don't feel like it. Anchoring your decisions to principles means defining what you stand for and what you won't compromise on. It's about creating boundaries for your behavior that protect your progress. For example, the principle of financial responsibility might mean always saving a percentage of your income, even when you feel like spending. The principle of growth might mean dedicating time each day to learning, even when you're tired or discouraged. Principles give you a compass. While emotions are the waves, your principles are the steady lighthouse guiding you forward. This approach changes everything. When you act on principles, you avoid the chaos of reactive decisions. You stop chasing short-term highs and start building long-term results. Most people are reactive. They respond to every notification, every criticism, and every fleeting desire. The 1% are proactive. They ask themselves, what does my principle say I should do, and act accordingly. This isn't about being robotic or suppressing feelings. It's about using your emotions as data, not dictators. Your feelings become information, not the final decision maker. Another benefit is resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. When you act purely on emotion, failure can feel catastrophic. You get frustrated, discouraged, and may even quit entirely. Principles provide stability. They help you keep going because you're not relying on motivation or mood. You're relying on a structure that doesn't waver. This is why the 1% don't crumble when challenges arise. Their principles give them a path forward when everything else seems chaotic. Acting on principles also builds trust, both in yourself and in others. When your decisions are consistent, people know what to expect from you. They trust your integrity, your reliability, and your judgment. More importantly, you begin to trust yourself. You no longer second, guess your actions, or let fear dictate your choices. This self-trust compounds over time, allowing you to take bigger risks, make bolder decisions, and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Finally, remember this: emotions are temporary, but principles are permanent. Emotions can cloud judgment, distort priorities, and derail progress. Principles, on the other hand, provide a steady foundation, a framework for action, and a guide for living deliberately. To think like the 1%, anchor your decisions to principles, not impulses. Let your values dictate your actions, not your feelings. When you do this, you gain control over your life, your results, and your future. No matter what challenges come your way, focus is your most powerful tool, yet most people treat it like a luxury instead of a necessity. Every day, we are bombarded with distractions, social media notifications, emails, messages, meetings, and endless urgent tasks that steal our attention. The average person lets these interruptions dictate their day. The 1% understand that focus is not just important, it's the currency of achievement. Every hour of undistracted attention compounds into results that most people only dream of. Think about it, attention is finite. You can't stretch it, and once it's lost, you can't get it back. Every time you allow distractions to pull you away from your priorities, you are trading your most valuable resource for nothing. The 1% guard their focus fiercely. They know that the difference between average results and extraordinary success is not more talent or luck. It's sustained attention on what truly matters. Focus multiplies everything: learning, productivity, creativity, and decision making. Without it, all effort is diluted. Protecting focus starts with clarity. You must be absolutely clear about what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Most people react to whatever is loudest or most urgent, but the 1% decide what is important first. They plan their days, prioritize high-leverage tasks, and eliminate the noise. This requires discipline and a willingness to say no, often repeatedly. Saying no to distractions is saying yes to your future. It's protecting the time and energy that will build the life you want. Another key is environment. Focus isn't just a mental skill, it's a cultivated condition. The 1% design their environments to support deep work. They remove unnecessary notifications, limit social media, create quiet spaces, and schedule uninterrupted blocks of time for critical tasks. Every element of their surroundings is intentionally arranged to minimize friction and maximize concentration. Ordinary people try to focus in chaotic conditions. The 1% shape their world so focus becomes natural, almost effortless. Focus also demands consistency. It's not about occasional bursts of productivity, it's about making attention a habit. The 1% set routines that automatically guide their focus toward their highest priorities. They start the day with clarity, they protect their most productive hours, and they consistently dedicate energy to long-term goals. Over time, this consistent focus compounds, creating momentum that carries them past obstacles and competitors. Perhaps the most overlooked aspect is protecting your mental energy. The 1% know that fatigue, stress, and distractions erode focus. They guard their minds like a precious asset. By resting well, eating consciously, exercising, and practicing mindfulness or reflection, they understand that a clear, sharp mind is the foundation for exceptional decision making and performance. Without mental energy, focus cannot exist, no matter how much discipline you try to muster. Finally, protecting focus is about purpose. When your attention is aligned with a bigger vision, distractions lose their power. The 1% operate with intention. They know why they are doing what they do, and they constantly measure every action against that purpose. This alignment transforms focus from a skill into a lifestyle. Every decision, every hour, every effort is intentionally directed toward meaningful progress. If you want to think like the 1%, start treating focus as your most valuable asset. Guard it fiercely, direct it deliberately, and invest it wisely. Eliminate distractions, create supportive environments, build consistent routines, and align your attention with your purpose. Focus is not just a skill, it's the engine that multiplies everything else. Protect it, and you unlock the power to achieve what most people only imagine. Most people go through life playing defense. They react to problems, avoid risks, and try to protect what they already have. They spend more time worrying about loss than pursuing opportunity. The 1%, however, play offense. They create opportunities, take bold actions, and actively shape their future instead of waiting for it to happen. Playing offense is about being proactive, strategic, and relentless in your pursuit of growth and impact. It's the mental shift that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. Defense is safe, comfortable, and easy, but it's also limiting. When you only react to life, you're always one step behind. You wait for circumstances to dictate your next move, and your growth is dictated by forces outside your control. The 1% understand that the world rewards initiative, not caution. They don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect idea, or the perfect resources. They create their own momentum and capitalize on it relentlessly. Playing offense begins with mindset. It's about seeing opportunity where others see obstacles. While most people see risk, the 1% see leverage. They understand that calculated action is far more powerful than cautious hesitation. Every challenge is a chance to learn, every setback a chance to adapt, and every connection a chance to create influence. Offense is about recognizing that you control more of your life than you realize, but only if you take deliberate action. Another critical aspect is boldness. Playing offense requires courage to take risks that others shy away from. It's uncomfortable and it often feels uncertain, but discomfort is a sign that you're stepping into growth. The 1% embrace this discomfort because they know that extraordinary results rarely come from staying safe. Every major breakthrough in business, creativity, or personal growth came from someone daring to act when others hesitated. Offense is also about initiative. Don't wait for opportunities to knock on your door. Build them, seek them out, innovate, experiment, and push boundaries. Take responsibility for your success rather than blaming circumstances or waiting for permission. The 1% understand that success is not handed to you, it's created through action. When you operate offensively, you shape the world around you instead of letting the world shape you. Consistency amplifies offense. Bold actions are useless if they are occasional or reactive. The 1% commit to continuous actions, small moves that accumulate into unstoppable momentum. They consistently pursue goals, refine their strategies, and expand their influence. Over time, this consistent offensive approach compounds, creating a life that most people could never achieve by simply reacting or protecting what they already have. Finally, offense is about vision. You must know where you want to go to act effectively. Playing offense without direction is chaos. The 1% operate with clarity. They know their long-term goals and align every action with that vision. Their offensive strategy is not reckless, it is deliberate, purposeful, and strategic. Every risk, every decision, and every effort is aimed at moving closer to their ultimate objective. If you want to think like the 1%, stop playing defense. Stop reacting to life and start creating it. Take calculated risks, pursue opportunities relentlessly, and act boldly even when it's uncomfortable. Build momentum through consistent action and always align your efforts with a clear vision. Life rewards the proactive, the courageous, and the relentless. Play offense and you stop surviving. You start dominating.